Hey everyone, welcome to the Vigilance Committee. A little different kind of show today. We're going to kind of clean out our emails, share some videos that were sent to us. I was in a live stream last night and promised to share a certain story. So we're going to get right into it. All right, before we get started here, I do want to kind of talk to the chat a little bit. Welcome, Dubwebs. Chris Milkey, Freddie, Daisy May, um, Johnson County, Kansas Cop Watch. Welcome, STD 58 in the house. Dale Elliott, the usual suspects. And then, oh, wait a minute, there's a Stephanie Jenks in here. Does anybody know Stephanie Jenks?
I don't know, but I know there was a message for her to check her email earlier.
Oh. All right. Just like I said, we're just going to clean out some emails here, some videos, and then I did promise to share a certain particular story. If you guys are keeping track about government entities and what they're doing to First Amendment auditors, I want you to think about like supporters. What are they doing to supporters? Because the tyranny knows no bounds. So I'm getting ready to present something here from Kansas Freedom News. And we're going to show you something where all this woman actually did was go in to pick up a records request that was ready. And I think it's important for people to know if you're going to be supporters. This is what we can look forward to. It's going to become a trend, I believe. So let me share this. And Kansas Freedom News also wants to make sure that everyone goes to Lawrence Accountability's channel and subscribe. So if we could put Lawrence Accountability's link in the chat, that would be much appreciated. And of course, Kansas Freedom News in here too, in the chat. But I'm going to go ahead and start it at 3 minutes and 11 seconds. It says here they went in on behalf of Kansas Freedom News to pick up open records, and Richard had requested. Okay, so watch this.
That is crazy hair. His curls are gorgeous. With some canteen. I mean,
the day clerk will be right with you.
are you talking to me? Okay. Oh, I was like, I don't know who's doing what. I shouldn't have to give you my ID. I'm just here to pick up some records.
Okay.
I mean, seriously.
I got mine, but I'm not asking anything.
Well, I mean, I just am here to pick up some record requests and pay for them, so.
You can see mine.
I'm sure they know who I am anyway.
They know who I am.
They know who we are. Very well, I'm sure. I'm just the assistant. I'm just picking up some records.
Now, guys, right here, I asked Nicole personally, from me to Nicole, If she could help me out, she's there locally. She knows the people. She knows the ins and outs. If she'd be willing to pick up some uh, records that I've requested. Unfortunately, Mike, when he was down there with the rebel rouser Justin, and forgot to pick them up. Of course, it's not Mike's fault. All the delays and the runaround that Deputy Joe Love was giving him at the time, especially around this policy manual with the sheriff's department. So I don't blame Mike for forgetting about picking those up. So reached out to Nicole. Hey, could you pick these records up for me? You're local. You're there. Do you mind? So I sent her some money to get these records. And this is the result that we are dealing with now as she's trying to get these records. Of course, at the time, they had no problem handing these records over to Mike. But now all of a sudden, we got a problem, and they're going to give a runaround.
Just here.
There you go.
Oh, yay, thank you.
No problem. Yep. Oh.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm the assistant Kansas Freedom News, and I'm here to pick up a record request.
Okay. They said, if you're with them, we need something with the Kansas Freedom News.
Okay,
So if you're with them, did you guys catch that? If you're with them, I'm going to need this. Huh. I found that pretty interesting.
A credential saying that you're.
okay, all right.
And just so, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Just so you know, it'll be 50 cents a page.
it should be 25.50. He's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was when they asked for it before, but they didn't have a pay for it.
no, I have the money.
Okay.
Yeah, so you need me to just like have him email me a paper saying that I'm representing him to pick up the papers or something?
Yeah, Mike is 100% correct in here that Deputy Joe Love was willing to just give them over if he paid the $25.50. Deputy Joe Love did not need him to sign over any papers or fill out any documents, did not need any emails or all this runaround that they're now giving Nicole, which I found.
So what that means then, here's what I believe. They lump all the 1A community into one lump. So you don't have to give any ID or anything if they know you as an auditor. And they already they already know who they are, right? But they didn't know who Nicole was. So so they wanted her ID. They wanted her to. So even if you're a supporter and you're just,
But
trying to help, it's like, wow, they want to know who you are.
but let me just kind of play devil's advocate here. Okay. She said she's there for Kansas Freedom News. Okay,
Mhm.
that's fine. But let's just say, it was me walking in. I have no idea who Kansas Freedom News is, or I know who he is, but I want the records to keep them from him. If the office doesn't ask for ID, then how can they prove of who they gave the records to? Let's say I was on opposing side and I said, "Oh, hey, I'm here to pick up Kansas Freedom News's records," and they just hand them to me. And then Kansas Freedom News comes in 2 days later and they can go, "Oh, well, we already handed them out." I can kind of see both sides, by asking that question.
Yeah, but I mean, we kind of know why they're doing it, though. I don't believe they're doing it just to make sure that they're giving the records over to somebody that really wants that is, I mean, they don't care about Kansas Freedom News. They don't care about Lawrence accountability. They don't. I mean, if you're there to pick up records, they want to harass and harangue and be difficult. And they're going to be, especially with somebody that's just there as an assistant. Whereas they don't do that to Michael when he goes in to pick up Kansas Freedom News's stuff. You see what I mean? They don't give him any kind of hassle because they know better. But when you got somebody that's doesn't might not know better, then they're going to try to get out of giving over the records, even if you pay them. Does that make sense?
And it does,
Yeah.
but then again, Cliff, say it was you who ordered records and you needed them for a court case,
Mhm.
and I went in and I'm working for the opposite side, and I don't want you to have those records because that means that's gonna let you
Yeah.
win your court case.
No, I see
I
your
go
point.
in and I say, "Hey, I'm here to pick up records for Cliff,"
Yeah.
and they hand them to me, and you go in even 4 hours later,
Yep.
and they go,
Yep.
"Oh, no, we already gave them away." I mean,
No, I get your
it's
point, but here we're going to find out what the real reason is here in this
oh,
video. Yeah.
I know. I know. I
But I
can
understand where you're
kinda
coming
see
from.
both sides.
Yeah, I can too. All right, here we go.
Find this very interesting that they were willing to give this over to Deputy Joe Love. No question, or Deputy Joe Love was willing to give these over to Mike. No questions asked if he just paid the $25.50. But now all of a sudden, we're going through all these loops and jumps and hoops just to try to get these.
This one out, saying exactly what you're asking for.
Okay.
All right.
All right, gentlemen, what we got?
All right.
She had received a request, but she was waiting for funds.
Waiting for funds. I never got any notification that there were any funds due.
I've just got a copy of the email here.
Okay.
But,
What date was that sent?
let's see here. Is 06/26 and 24.
No, that would have been last week or a long time ago.
Anyway,
Okay.
we have
Hmm.
the total is gonna be $25.50 for what she has here,
Okay.
which includes,
And are you sure this is mine?
this was actually from Freedom
No,
Press.
this is
But she
Kansas.
said you guys,
That's not my request.
See, it's not even his request, but they're going to give him Kansas Freedom News's request without any ID or anything, as long as he pays the $25.50. Isn't that interesting?
but
You're
she said
showing.
you guys were asking for the same thing.
That might be, but that's not.
No, I asked for the sheriff's department policy. Here, let me show you what I asked for.
Okay, I'll be back here in a little bit. I will see what I can do.
So that just demonstrates that they do lump them together. They think they're all after the same things when they're really not. These guys are independent from each other, even though they're working the same cases, basically. Sometimes it does cross over, but they just assume that all First Amendment auditors are all on one team. And they're making assumptions that are silly.
All right, thanks.
Does that make me your assistant?
Yes, John. John, that you're the assistant of the assistant. I like that.
Hello, I have the email that you needed. Is there any way that you could like come look at it or? I cannot, I'm not gonna use my phone.
That's a smart move on Nicole
Can you
there.
screenshot and email it?
Smart move.
Do you want me to send it to you in an email? Okay, hold on 1 second.
So I think I understand what Nicole is trying to do here, Nikki. She's trying to prove that Kansas Freedom News asked her to come down, so she's showing the proof of an email rather than having to show her identification. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and
Okay.
and that's fine, you
Yeah.
know, and that would be something, that could be used rather than an ID.
Right.
I just was, like I said, playing devil's advocate
Yeah.
because I, you know, if you don't have your ID, then show me proof of why you're here to pick up records for somebody that's not you.
Right.
You know,
But even the Open Records Act, you don't have to show ID to do a public records request or get the records. Um,
right.
in most, yeah. So Freedom of Information Act. All right, here we go.
Time, sir?
Hey, guys, how are you?
No?
Yes, Daniel.
I do. Well, if you guys committed a crime, just a little bit of news in here. Need to see your driver's.
So right there, this is an officer that just came out and said, "Yeah, I'm out here because you guys just committed a crime." I was like, "What?" All right.
license. Kansas is a stop and ID state. I have a right to ask for that because you have committed a crime. The crime committed is interference with public office. And
What's
if you would
that?
like
Now, Mike, while I have you in here, Mike, do you think he would have tried that with you once again after putting them in place last time? This is a stop and ID state. I have a feeling that if he was up against you and Dr. Justin, I don't think he would try that again. But these guys, I think he had a feeling that these guys were not very well adversed. I figured that he was probably trying to get away with that.
to read the statute, I'll show it to you. The minute you asked that lady who did business in here why she gave her driver's license, you broke the law.
Oh, so then you're gonna arrest Lawrence
Nope, I'm not
and them
arresting
because
anybody.
they
Maybe
did the
that's
same
why
thing?
he
They've been
brought up
charged with
this
something else.
Ah, okay.
21,
Well, go
59,
ahead, charge me,
22
that's cool.
But I didn't get your driver's
violation.
license.
I'm not gonna give you my driver's license, but I will leave.
I'm exacting a stop here. Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's affecting a stop here, like this is some sort of traffic stop. Wow, this guy. Oh.
And if you don't believe in the statute, right here.
Okay.
You can refuse to give me your driver's
I'll
license.
give you my driver's
But-
license because you say that I've committed a crime,
You have.
but I'm telling you right now, Joe.
Nicole, when you came in here and you asked, if they asked for your driver's license, you didn't have to give it. But when you accosted that other lady about getting hers, you broke the law.
I literally just said that I'm not giving them my license and
And then you
I
turned to the other
I
lady who
said-
had given it. and
I
after-
have it on recording, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch it, so that's fine, but,
The
let me
lady-
find my
The lady
license.
That's good. We need bigger channels to cover this, Brandon. I appreciate that information. So yeah, Armed Fisherman and John Felix are getting ready to cover anything. So that'll be good. The more exposure, the better, because people need to know what's going on here.
said that you guys want to know why she gave hers.
I can't ask her why she gave her driver's license, that's against the law.
So, guys, according to Deputy Joe Love, it's a violation of 21-59-22 just to be in a public building and a public lobby to ask anybody and any member of the public, why did you give your ID? You can't ask them questions. It's a violation of 21-59.
Double ups. I'm not gonna highlight that, but come on, man. Let DMA do his thing. It would be fun.
22. But evidently, Deputy Joe Love does not understand 21-59-22. Let's continue.
She is doing business and the business.
It doesn't matter, all I did was ask her why she gave her driver's license.
That's still interrupting interference with the public office.
Okay,
By statute, you're welcome to read statute if you like.
oh, I don't need to, because I have a lawyer and my lawyer is gonna find out about it, so
That's fine.
I just hope you know what you're doing.
Oh, I'm very, very attuned to what I'm
Okay,
doing.
that's fine. As soon as I find my license, you are fine to see it, buddy.
Hey, And it's not something that I'm gonna rest on. It's just,
You guys,
That's also not something you should even cite her for. It's ridiculous. Just because she asked somebody if they showed their ID, I mean, how do you connect those dots? That's silly. Impeding.
Would that be
I've
the
been
same as
checked.
asking
Still
you
think
if you're wearing a blue shirt?
Yeah, kind of, really. I mean, oh, it's just stupid. It's like you can't even ask some like a bystander a question while you're in a government public area. Um, that that's targeting. He targeted her.
Or or even asking the parent of, that child, "Hey, do you know why your baby's, whining?" That kind of thing. Yeah, that is ridiculous. If you can't have a conversation with someone in public without getting in trouble, then oh my God, I'm glad I don't live in Kansas because my happy ass would be in jail.
Yeah, mine too.
It's funny that I just said, why did you give them your license? And that's what. Who knew you couldn't ask anyone questions about anything? I should have just waited till she went outside and asked her. My bad.
Nicole, I think Nicole can, but she took it.
I think that, you should just probably stop talking to me because I have nothing to say to you. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm talking to my friend, not you. So you can just mind the business. Thank you.
I like what she said there. I like this Nicole. I like her. That's just, I'm not talking to you anymore. Like you clown. I love it. What do you think of her response to that, Mr. Love, Nikki?
Um, I mean, I would think the same thing, but depending on what kind of mood I was in, I would either, say the same thing and just shut up, or I would push and push and push, and I would end up in handcuffs. I mean, it,
Yeah. No,
only
I
only
think she made
because
a pretty strong statement there, though, and that's the point. She said something about it, and
yeah, she did.
yeah,
And, that's great that she stood up for herself. That's the kind of thing that we need everybody, everybody to
every
do.
American, absolutely.
They need to know their rights. They need to know that they're allowed, and allowed is really too strong a word, but, they need to stand up for themselves instead of going, "Oh, you've got a gun, a badge, and you're part of that blue line gang, so whatever you say, sir, here, let me bow and kiss your boot, and I'll get out of your way."
And I
No,
think that's exactly what it is, Nikki. It's fear.
exactly.
They're afraid to speak up and exercise their rights. I mean, we all have a right to say something, don't we? I mean, freedom of speech is not completely dead, is it? I mean,
I
we
I
can
don't
tell
know.
people
I
how we
mean,
feel or redress our grievances to the government. We can tell people how we feel about what they're doing. I mean,
that that's kind of what I thought, but apparently
if the government doesn't
it's
like it, they'll come after you.
yeah.
So the more we expose this, um, you know, uh, they're not going to continue to get away with this kind of stuff. The more we expose it, that's why it's important to expose this kind of stuff. All right, so let's see what Lawrence Accountability does about this.
Mr. Walker or Mr. Love, please.
Who can I tell who's calling?
It's a personal matter.
For them or you?
For all of us, ma'am. Is the sheriff or Deputy Love available?
The sheriff's not available and Deputy Love is in booking with someone right now, but I can put you on hold or.
You notice how the sheriff is never available, no matter where you go, guys. The sheriff is never available to people, just right off the cuff. I haven't seen one video where the sheriff is available when people ask for him. Let me know if anybody has seen anything different than that, because we'd want to shout out a good sheriff that was available to the public when somebody asked for him. But I haven't seen anybody. I'll be looking in the chat for it. What do you think, Nikki? I sensed you were getting ready to speak.
Yeah, I was. I have to say the sheriff of the county where I'm at is 95% of the time available.
Yeah, but you're in one of those really unpopulated counties where there's really nothing.
Exactly.
There's just nothing happening there.
Yeah, and you're right. But
And I'm not going to say what county, folks, so forget about it.
yeah, I do have to say that I personally do not see this kind of thing happening where I am.
Yeah.
Okay, so I may be an outlier and that's fine.
You are.
And I think that helps. But I do think that helps our channel is because
Sure.
I can say, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not
supposed to
happening
be
in
like
your
it
backyard,
is.
but you know it's happening everywhere else or a lot of other
Right,
places. Yeah.
right.
No, I gotcha. All right, so let's see what Michael does about all of this.
Have him call you right back.
Okay. I sure hope he's not in booking with John or Nicole.
I can't tell you who he's in booking with, but I can leave him a message with your name and phone number.
Okay. My name is Michael. My name is Michael. My telephone number is.
Oh, just when you thought you were going to get his phone number.
I would appreciate a return call because what's going to happen is the continuation of threats of arrest and retaliation. I'm going to bring my camp trailer down there and camp out at the Elk City Lake if I have to get this to stop.
The Elk City Lake?
Or the Elk County, whatever lake you have down there. So we can mince words if you want, but I'll bring a camp trailer down there and I'll stay in Elk County for months if I have to do it. You guys are going to quit threatening your citizens with arrest. I'd like to talk to the sheriff or Deputy Love as soon as they're available.
Okay. I haven't threatened anybody, so I don't know why you're getting angry with me, but I will let Deputy Love know that you would like a call back.
Well, ma'am, are you Penny?
Wait a minute. Did he sound angry? Nikki? I
Sorry,
didn't
I
think
was
he
muted.
sounded. I didn't think he
No,
sounded angry.
he sounded precise, concise,
Yeah,
very
just
firm in
direct.
his decision,
Yeah,
direct,
to the point. Yeah, it's,
not angry. I mean, angry, you fed up. That's a good one, Brandon. Yes.
yeah, yeah. I think he might have sounded a little bit fed up because this kind of stuff happens all the time to people. All right, let's continue.
I don't know any Penny.
You don't know any Penny? Okay, so you're not the person that I spoke to when I came to the courthouse a few weeks ago and you wanted to know where I was from?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I don't know who I am, but I'll bet she's Penny. I'll bet she is. She just doesn't want to say.
Oh, okay. So have Sheriff Walker or Deputy Love call me and we'll work out whether I need to come down there and stay or not.
Okay, is that supposed to be a threat?
No, ma'am.
See, it sounds like she's trying to set him up. Is that supposed to be a threat? Good Lord. All right.
I'm going to resolve some issues here, and if the sheriff would, or Mr. Love, would like to actually follow the law, everything will work great. But as long as they're going to continue to threaten arrest and go outside the bounds of the law and start trying to accuse people of interfering with public offices and things like that, that's not going to work for us.
Okay, I will let him know as soon as he's done in booking. I will have him call you.
I would hope one of them gives me a call back before I get a call back from my attorney to review this.
Okay,
Thank you.
have a good day.
That was a good call. Michael don't mess around, man.
You're saying that I'm being,
Now this here, I have to say, is brilliant on Mike's part. This is brilliant on Mike's part because all down there, run around, they don't want to talk. They're short, but Mike can call down there and they talk to him. And even Deputy Love will call Mike back. And I find it so amazing here. Deputy Joe Love admits to Mike Lawrence Accountability. And by the way, if anybody who's watching is not a subscriber of Mike Lawrence Accountability, go over to his channel. Can somebody drop his link in here? Drop Lawrence Accountability's link in this chat. Guys, go subscribe. He has been an amazing help on this story. So drop his link. You guys go over there and subscribe if you're not already. But Deputy Joe Love calls Mike Lawrence Accountability back. And Deputy Joe Love admits to a 1983 violation right here on this phone call. Let's get back to it.
charged with a crime.
No, a citation, a misdemeanor.
Thank you, Cliff Williams.
Okay, and when have I been charged with that?
The paperwork is with the county attorney, but when you were here, the people in the clerk's office complained that you interrupted their business.
Gotcha. And
So
so you have filed those charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and are those charges filed against Dr. Spies as well?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And so today, when you threatened to file charges on Nicole, did those?
I agree with that statement there, Dublubs. I think they're all doing great work and they're all helping each other out. And I think that's what this community should be all about. I really do. That's kind of why I made a promise to share this video today, and that's why I'm doing it. So yeah, I completely agree.
Those charges actually get filed?
It is a citation, sir, but yes, I am writing them citations.
So you are actually writing them citations, huh?
Yes, sir, and if you would like, I can explain you the grounds for that.
Please do.
Okay. We had a lady in here who was doing business. She had to have fingerprints taken so that she could apply for a position with the school system. Okay. I can't give you her name, but that was her purpose for being in here.
Mhm.
And with that, she gave her identification.
Okay.
John and Nicole came in and they refused to give their identification, which is perfectly fine. They can do that. That's their right. But they asked the lady why she was given her identification. And when the lady,
Wait a
after
minute,
they left,
stop
the
it
lady
right
said,
there.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't ask why.
No, hang on. He just said John and Nicole came in and they refused to give their identification, which was perfectly fine. But if we rewind and we go back to when the officer was talking to John and Nicole, the officer told them that because they're in a government building doing government whatever,
Yeah, and this is a
that
stop and
they
ID
had to,
state.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So which is it? Which is it?
Well,
Do I
he
have to
accused him
give
of
my
committing a
ID?
crime. He accused him of committing a crime. He wanted to write them
Right.
that citation for asking a woman why she gave her ID.
So, uh, wait a minute. here we're getting two different stories now, and it does make you wonder. No wonder why the normal Joe Blow on the street is
It's retaliation because she wouldn't give up her
confused.
ID when he asked for it. That's basically what I think what it comes down to.
Well,
And
yeah, but
and she
but
knows
what
that
I'm
he's affiliated with Kansas Freedom News and Lawrence Accountability.
right.
It's
But
harassment.
what I'm getting at is you have two different officers giving two different stories, two different laws. So no wonder
Oh, the,
why the normal everyday person it does say, you know, here, let me kiss your boot, because they don't know which one is right, which one is going to get them in trouble, what kind of mood anybody's in, what kind of bullshit they're going to throw out there.
yeah,
I
you
mean,
never know what you're going to run into when it comes to a thug within law enforcement, right? Yeah,
right.
yeah. And this same deputy is the one on the phone, and the one that asked for her ID, and the one that wrote the citation. The guy, this ugly mug that we're seeing right here is the guy. This guy right here.
Okay, I thought they were two different officers,
Nope,
but
same guy. Yeah, he's a real POS.
No,
And they
hold
asked
on,
me for my
hold on
asked
just
me
a
those
moment.
questions.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But the lady who they had asked her why she gave up her ID asked us after Nicole and John had left, can they do that? And I said, well, did you feel like they were interrupting your business? And she said, yes. So that justified the citation to them.
So he solicited it, right? I mean, the woman was basically, well, asking, can they ask me personal questions? Well, yeah, anybody can ask anybody personal questions. Who cares? But he's, he's twisting this. I'll bet that woman never said a word. And if she did, they better have some evidence of it. And even if she did, you can't cite somebody because of somebody else's feelings. They're not the feelings police, and they keep trying to justify their actions by saying somebody's feelings got hurt. You know what I mean? Does that make sense, Nikki?
well, I mean, it makes sense because my feelings are not the same as your feelings.
Yeah,
If somebody were to say to the two of us, you know, orange flowers are ugly, that could hurt my feelings, but you might love orange flowers. Feelings are subjective and they are not the law. Period.
exactly.
Okay, so and what exactly did Nicole and John do?
They asked her why she was giving up her identification
Okay,
after they refused to give up theirs.
got you. So they just asked her why. They didn't harass her about it or anything?
That's all it takes, guys, for Deputy Joe Love to charge you with KSA 215922. You walk into a public building. Matter of fact, I think Nicole.
Hey, Nikki, if I rewind this, can you look up that for that Kansas code? We can share it on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll back it up in just a few seconds here.
Anything?
That's all it takes, guys, for Deputy Joe Love to charge you with KSA 215922. You walk into a public building. Matter of fact, I think Nicole actually, John, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys, when this conversation actually happened, wasn't even inside, was it? But you walk in or on a public building or property, and you ask somebody if did you give up your ID? That is a KSA 215922 violation. I can't believe it.
Yeah, did you notice how he giggled there? Yeah, how does it? I mean, this guy is he's reaching for anything he can to try to hem somebody up that's even affiliated in any way with the 1A community. Um,
All right, I've
that's
got it.
horrendous. All right, let's take. I'll stop sharing. That way you can share. Wow. Can, yeah. You want to read it out loud to us? And listen carefully when she reads this. Let's see what we can find that fits. Are you muted, Nikki? Or are you just getting ready?
No, I'm muted as usual.
Okay. Okay.
215922, interference with the conduct of public business in public buildings. Aggravated interference with the conduct of public business. Interference with the conduct of public business in public buildings is conduct at or in any public building owned, operated, or controlled by the state or any of its political subdivisions so as to knowingly deny to any public official, public employee, or any invitee on such premises the lawful rights of such official, employee, or invitee to enter, to use the facilities, or to leave any such building.
Okay, so they can't deny access for people,
Right.
right?
So that one
That
doesn't apply.
no.
To knowingly impeding any public official or employee in the lawful performance of duties or activities through the use of restraint, abduction, coercion, or intimidation, or by force and violence or threat thereof.
Okay, now this says here specifically you cannot impede a public official or employee. So they left the part of invitee out of this, right?
Right. So this one
Okay.
wouldn't apply.
Right. But that's the one that he's using intimidation. She was intimidated. So therefore, we're going to charge you.
Well, when you
I'll
go
play it here in a
down,
minute. You'll see it.
when you go down to number 4 here,
Okay.
knowingly impeding, disrupting, or hindering the normal proceedings. Well, nope, that doesn't even fit because it says
No.
of any meeting or session.
Yeah. Yeah. He's trying to charge her with the section 3 there. That she was intimidated, the invitee, but there it doesn't say invitee in there. It's you can't
Number
stop a
2.
public official. Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, it's number 3.
no, number 3 is knowingly refusing or failing to leave any building.
Oh, okay. So it is number 2 then. Okay. Knowingly impeding any government official or employee. Doesn't say anything about the invitee or um, just a regular person, right?
Right, right.
So yeah, he can't use it because that's specifically for employees and public officials. You can't impede on them doing their job. So everybody got that? Anybody in the chat disagree with our assessment there? So I think Nikki and I are on the same page, right, Nikki?
Yeah, I'm looking at the legal definition of the statute
Yeah,
and yeah,
yeah. But obviously, this Joe Love character, and he's well versed in this stuff, right? I mean, what an idiot. And I'm going to say, what an idiot. Just my opinion, but I'm right.
all right, Cliff, what are you doing?
What's
Cliff,
that? What's that?
what are you doing?
What did I miss? Oh, I'm
You
not
like,
sharing. I'm
you're
not
not
sharing.
sharing
I'm
nothing. We're
playing.
not
I'm
hearing
playing.
nothing. We're
And
just
yet,
sitting here in
and you let
silence.
me go all this time without saying anything. Okay, here we go.
I was busy
Present.
doing something.
All
I
right.
actually was. I
All
was
right.
doing it for somebody who says that they love me all the time.
Okay. All right. Here we
And
go.
it wasn't
Sorry about
Mr.
that, guys.
Mickey.
So I have a habit of doing that, unsharing, and then I forget to share again.
When this conversation actually happened, wasn't even inside, was it? But you walk in or on a public building or property, and you ask somebody if did you give up your ID?
Hey, FPS, good to see you, brother.
That is a KSA 215922 violation. I can't believe it. Uh, Deputy Joe Love admitted to a 1983 right here. I mean, screw free speech. You're not allowed to have free speech in a public building and or in public lobby or nothing. Nothing. When you're in Elk County, you're not allowed anything. You don't have a Fourth Amendment right. You don't have a First Amendment right when you're in Elk County, Kansas. Right here, Deputy Joe Love and his leader, his quote unquote champion, Sheriff John Walker.
What's up? The Angry Dad in the house, folks. Throw his link in the chat. Um, throw it in there.
I can't say that they did.
But you don't have any evidence that they did. Is that correct?
All I have is a statement from the lady who they asked.
Okay. And so, and the lady said, how did this become a crime?
Well, it's not a crime for anybody to come in here and refuse to give ID.
No, I'm
Sure.
talking about the
It's just
interference.
when you
Let's
ask
put the
the
idea
question, that's
aside.
when it's
How
wrong.
is this rising to the crime of
Well,
interference?
I can read you the statute if you would like.
Please. I mean, I'm familiar with 5922, but I mean, I'm trying to understand how asking somebody a question rises to interference.
The lady who they asked was offended by the fact that they were asking her why she had to give up her ID.
Okay, so that
Well, she was offended.
person was offended, and now that becomes a crime?
Feelings police.
It's not a crime to offend somebody else. Both of you guys are pretty good at that. But
Oh, showing his bias, maybe? You guys are pretty good at that?
No, that's called feelings. That's his feelings.
Doc.
So he's
Yep.
enforcing
Hi
his
there. I'd
feelings.
love to show you what a K-12 powered school is really like.
You've had two
Oops.
girlfriends that have gone missing in the
Oops.
last.
No thanks. I accidentally clicked off that whole stream, so let me get back
That's
into
all
it.
right.
I think we've got it covered. I mean, that was the gist of everything. They're charging her
Yeah.
with a crime that doesn't even. And then when he told him that it was because she was offended that they asked her if she gave her driver's license to them, they're going to charge them with a crime just for asking the question. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
But then he admitted that by saying of his bias, you guys offend people all the time. You're pretty
Yeah.
good at it.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Well, I'm good at
So-
offending people all the time. Does that mean I need to get in trouble?
He basically admitted to violating rights by even putting out the citation because I don't believe he believes. I don't believe he even believes that there was a crime committed. He just wanted to write something up. He just wanted to harass and charge this woman for being a supporter of 1A auditors. What do you think, Nikki?
Well, of course. Of
Yeah.
course he wanted to harass her because her brain has been brainwashed by those of us who believe we have rights. So of course he's going to try and set her on the straight path according to him rather than her actually thinking
Yep.
for herself and going, wait a minute, why am I having to do this?
I like this answer too.
I'm offended
Um,
that he's offended. I need some ID. I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Or
it's
I'm gonna cite you because this woman was offended, and I'm offended that she was offended because I don't like you guys. That's basically what he did.
and he even admitted to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah. Because you guys know
sorry.
how to, yeah, offend people. You guys are really good at that. You guys, again, lumping them all up into one entity, even though they're completely different people. Um, so, all right. So the next one I wanted to share is something that I found, and I think I found this guy because I think Rogue Nation just did a um, video on this, and so I kind of wanted to share this. Um, just showing the overreach that our government will go through, just so that they don't have to be offended. Um, and so I saw this. I think it was yesterday that I saw this come in, and so it's only 4 minutes and 16 seconds. Um, and I'm just going to go ahead and play it. You guys will get the gist of what's going on here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Um, and then I'd like to get everybody's opinion on this one too.
You did this morning?
Great morning, Patriots. We are out here at our courthouse trying to educate the public about the importance of our grand jury, trying to ask citizens if you've been wronged by our courts or whether our courts are treating you fairly. We just got a visit about 5 minutes ago from three sheriffs who handed me this administrative directive. It is signed by Mr. Holcomb, our unlawfully appointed sheriff. And it says approved as to content, Mr. Holcomb, approved as to legal sufficiency, signed by the city attorney and approved by the city manager. None of those officials are out here. They're trying to force us to get further away from the courthouse.
So
Now we're out here because
this is where all the people come from. Hold on 1 second, Aldo. They come across the parking lot. That's where the people are. They want us to go way over there where nobody will see anything or be able to talk to us.
So the first time we started to protest, they said you're fine as long as you're on the other side of that pole. And they came out yesterday and said, just get off of the pavement onto the sidewalk. Now today they're telling us we have to go a football field's length back.
So there you go. You give the government an inch, they will take that mile, or they'll take miles. Um, so now I don't know if this sheriff um, was installed illegally or whatever. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is that looks like a traditional public forum right there, sidewalk in front of a courthouse. I mean, I don't think it gets more public than that. Do you guys? What do you think? And they're trying to make them go like a football field away, and they're making them do this. You'll see that here in a second.
That way, I'm suspect about when this document was actually signed because it appears to be wet ink, but it
doesn't matter if this was signed or they did this or whatever. I mean, the Constitution is the Constitution, and right to redress or be in a public area on a public sidewalk. I can't tell you where you can stand and where you can't stand. As long as you're a traditional public forum, and we do have that thing rolling on our screen. We're not lawyers. We're not giving legal advice. So correct me though if I'm wrong, guys. They are kind of protesting, so I don't know if there's a difference on that. I think a lot of entities try to make you get a permit, and they can tell you where to be and all of that kind of stuff. But I still think it's unconstitutional for them to even do that. So, just my opinion. but I'm right.
According to them, it's, you know,
June.
3 weeks ago or June or whatever. I suspect that they backdated the document, but I'm not sure. But Mr. Holcomb, who was unlawfully appointed, will not come out. We've asked for him to come out. The city attorney's name is on here, as is the city manager. There's no reference to city council. There's no representation to the people about what's fair. We are not impeding any of the public. This is the path of the public to our courthouse. This is the logical place for us to interact with them. What they're clearly doing is attempting to.
Right, and I think, Angry Vet, I think that grand juries are the right of the people to be able to go to a grand jury for things, and yeah, they're just not doing it anywhere. So this guy, let's see, let me make this small again. Jeff Stagg, the Foxhole. And I did subscribe on my phone. Almost subscribe there too. But you're getting ready to see him get arrested.
Shut us down by pushing us out of the way, and we're simply not going to stand that. We need your support, though. We need you to call the sheriff's office, call the city attorney's office, call the city manager's office, come down here and show up, express your rights as citizens. We have them. You need to understand what's going on in our courts.
Right there.
Okay. And why are you arresting him? Excuse me, what's your name, Rupert? Why are you arresting him?
For the same reason you could be arrested for obstruction the other day.
I'm not obstructing justice. There's an injustice going on. No, there's you're committing a crime, and you are not following the Constitution, and you.
Loosen the cuff up! You're hurting my out!
Okay, that's brutal. That's brutality.
The fucking doctor yesterday. Are you going to collect your signage and leave, or go to the proper spot? Loosen the cuff up! You're cutting off my circulation. If you don't collect your signage, and
I'm going to video this first, and then I will go ahead and go. But yeah, you know what? You are really a disgrace to this country.
I know you told me the other day I was a disgrace to liberty. I got you. I know your opinion. That's fine.
Oh, it's the truth.
Isn't that prior restraint though too? Because he's
Yeah.
blocking her view.
Yes, he is. Yeah. And he's, he was just getting ready to threaten her with arrest as well if she didn't pick up her signs and go to the appropriate place. Oh my Lord.
It's not my opinion. It is truth, boy. It's true.
Yeah, I think so too, EQI. I think this guy, yeah. So, you can indicate the tomato. Oh.
Truth. And you guys are working for the criminals, the crime ring.
Please.
The mafia, basically.
I'm not. I'm standing here. You make.
This is the way you treat people. How do you sleep at night?
He was given a lawful order.
No, it isn't. No, it is you. That is that.
Lawful order, same as you. Lawful? Really? This is lawful, guys? Man, oh man. Talk about government overreach. Wow. Yeah, it's kind of like that, right? It's kind of like publishing on a monetized YouTube channel. There should be a law, but there's not.
That is a false
I'm going to
arrest.
tell you to start packing your stuff and go to
That's
where
a
you need to
false
be or
arrest
leave.
because you don't like what I'm saying. I'm not trespassing. This is public property, and we pay for it with our taxes. Get away.
You're an
Get away from
expressive
me.
activity.
You step back.
You're an expressive activity.
Step back.
And you're not allowed to be
Hey,
here
step
with your
back.
expressive activity.
Step back.
Your expressive activities are authorized over there.
Well, how come the Jehovah's?
So you don't have a right to be expressive on a traditional public forum on a sidewalk. Is that right? Tell me if I'm getting this wrong. I mean, somebody please tell me if you're protesting, you have to go where the government tells you can protest, or as long as you're on public property, are you allowed to protest on public property as long as you're not blocking um, the regular flow of traffic? I mean, it's just the two of them, right? I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong on this, guys. Somebody look it
I
up
mean,
or
are
something.
they even on the sidewalk anymore, or has he backed her up out into the public roadway?
It kind of looks like, well, there's a sidewalk there too, because she walked up on it and it was from a sidewalk. Um, I don't know. Did they apply for a designated area? No, they didn't apply for. Why would they have to apply for a designated area if they're on a public sidewalk
Well, like
or on
Angry
public
Vet said,
property?
some cities do have ordinances.
Ordinances, but that does that make it constitutional, or are these ordinances against the law, or should they be, or are they? Um, I mean, they can be challenged, right?
They can be
But in the
challenged, but who's gonna challenge them?
well, I believe these guys are, or at least they're working on it.
Those
If you
witnesses
don't
were allowed
leave,
to stand over there
they're
yesterday.
not here today for us to tell.
Well,
If you
you know
don't
what? They've been
take your
there. You didn't
expressive
say
activity over
anything to
there.
them. You didn't say.
So that would be a 14th Amendment violation if a religious sect was doing the same thing and they didn't make them leave, right? Um, oh, we didn't see him or whatever. That was yesterday. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we didn't see him yesterday. Um, and double ups, thank you. Anything that will take up a specific space needs a permit, apparently, but that's still unconstitutional. Time, place, and manner, yet still the Supreme Court doesn't care.
There we
The,
go.
you know, even though we all know it's our right, then, the city places ordinances. The city says you have to get a permit. The city says you
Ooh.
have to do this, you have to do that. And that's a good point for public safety.
Mhm.
I'll
It's a big
find out
deal.
Angry Vet when it happened.
It was.
It's trespassing. It's trespassing.
Hey, it is not. You are trespassing. You're trespassing on public property right now. We own this. We paid for it.
There you go. Public property. And he's saying you're trespassing. All right. So it's Aldo, I guess, is his nickname. But it's Jeff Stagg, the Foxhole. So if
It was
folks will,
7 days ago in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
yep. And it is going viral. They're saying this guy only has 86 subscribers, if you can believe that. So I think folks should go over there and subscribe to his channel. I know that we're just a small channel, but I think everyone should go over there, subscribe, click on a video, come back after you hit the like button. Because if you just go over there and subscribe and then don't do anything else, YouTube frowns on that and takes the subscribers away, especially when you do mass subscribing, like a lot of the big channels do that, and then you lose them the
Uh-oh.
next day.
I think the city of Virginia Beach might want to take notice. The Angry Vet's only 5 hours from there.
Ah,
Wonder what could happen.
yeah, Virginia Beach courts. How many views are already on this? Does it say? Oh, 7 days ago, and with a small channel like this, 86 subscribers, they've already got 6,600 views, 61 comments. So yeah, it is kind of going viral for them, right? All right. Now, there was another one too. Um, that somebody that's affiliated with them put out um, about the grand jury stuff, and for some reason I didn't get that one sent over to my email. Um, but if anybody knows how to contact this guy, she's affiliated with him, and she's one of those activists that is trying to make sure that people have access to their grand juries like they're supposed to. So now this next one, SC Phoenix Volunteer ADA Auditor sent me this one a while back in an email. I haven't actually watched this one. But he sent the video a while back, and so we're just, like I said, we're just trying to clean out things. I think it's this is an ADA audit that he did, I believe. And so let me go ahead and present it.
Howdy.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you, sir?
All is well. What you got going on today?
Yep, I recognize his voice. It is him.
Do you see a publicly
You
posted?
drinking water too?
Sir?
I know it's hot and muggy out that bad boy.
Yeah.
I can see you sweating.
Yeah, I'm sweating. It's hot. You see your public notices here?
Yes.
Okay. Where's your Americans with Disabilities Act public notice?
Now we don't have it out here, but we do have it in our break room. And
Can you escort me there so I can see it?
no, sir. Nobody's business.
Oh, we keep that in the break room so the public can't see it.
I'm gonna direct you to our person, who is Tracy Doe.
Yes.
You got to get on the schedule, get a meeting with her. Matter of fact, let me get my pay.
Joanna McDuffie says she's the ADA coordinator. Tracy Dove.
And you can't go into the break room. That's why we put it there, because you can't go there, not unless you got an appointment.
Was the one that was appointed the ADA coordinator.
Right.
Now, Tracy Dove is the Title VI grant writer too. So Tracy Dove has been committing fraud to the federal government to receive DOJ funds and federal funds, any federal funds, any US DOJ funds since 2007 that you guys have received. You received it fraudulently. There's no 11th Amendment immunities for violating Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is what Tracy Dove has been doing, and the sheriff has been signing off on it. And I'm sure the sheriff doesn't look at it and trust his people and just signs it, not knowing what he's doing.
Let me get you on the schedule so you can talk to him about all that.
Now the sheriff and I have talked.
Oh, good. When's the last time y'all talked?
Oh, gosh. It was a while ago. And then I called Scott Hayes, who was your attorney at the time.
Yeah.
When are you going to educate your deputies on the Americans with Disabilities Act and the laws that protect the disabled citizens? See?
And what did
I'm
Hayes,
disabled.
what did Hayes say?
I'm not. Click.
That was Scott Hayes though?
Yeah. So I sent him an email. In the email, I used a metaphor. People that know me, like Forest Acres Police, like investigator Baxter with Forest Acres Police.
Yeah, I know Baxter.
You can call Baxter and Baxter will tell you, yeah, that boy is on the internet all the time doing these aviation air combat stuff on a regular basis.
Oh, yes, sir.
And World War II stuff, and he's shooting planes down online and stuff. In my email to Scott Hayes, I used a metaphor. The metaphor I used is I hope you can fly better than me. Because if you can't, I'm going to shoot you down. Okay? Now, let's talk about let's talk about that. Because that's what he did. Okay? Now let's talk about that.
He's using the metaphor.
That's the metaphor. Okay? Let's talk about that. At that time, John McCain was still alive. Let's subpoena John McCain and ask him what it's like to be shot down. Why can we do that? Because he was shot down, not killed in action. There's a difference between shot down and killed in action.
John McCain was a POW.
Okay, there's a difference between shot down and killed in action. Okay, you know, let's subpoena Scott O'Grady. Let's ask him what it's like to be shot down. Why can we do that? He was shot down. He was not killed in action.
You know, you're talking to a military veteran, 22 years now.
That's awesome.
I definitely know the difference between shot down.
I'm glad. Now, what I just recently did was I filed a police report on my phone and recorded the whole thing.
With who? Far as that is.
Nope, Kershaw County Sheriff's
Oh,
Department.
okay.
I said, hey, I got Leon Lott to comply. Look, you can find it right there under the Public Affairs Office information. On the bottom, you'll see the link, ADA notice.
What was Kershaw County's reply?
They're not complying yet.
They
And
didn't
the
think you-
sheriff hasn't complied yet either.
They didn't think you was trying to press them on nothing, did it?
Well, I filed a police report first. Now I've emailed the sheriff.
See, and that's just it here, Nikki. A lot of these government entities don't even know that they're supposed to be ADA compliant, right?
It's not that they don't know, it's that they're
They play
not
dumb.
going to do it until they are forced to do it by being held accountable by the public. Now, if the public is too scared to open their mouth and ask or bring it to their attention, then they don't care. They're not gonna spend the money. They're not, if they can save money on being ADA compliant, they can spend that money somewhere else, like buying, fancy patches for their sleeves on their shirts.
Well, here's an answer that I got from EQI. So, I mean, I think I believe that answer really pretty straightforward. They don't care. They're not going to do anything until they're forced to do what they're supposed to be doing in the first place.
I mean, think about it, Cliff. You yourself know for a fact FOIA requests, or FOIL or whatever they're called, the Freedom of Information, the requests. Number one, what if people don't have internet access? We know that there's areas in this country where there is no internet access. That's why they had that big push during, the Wu flu thing. Um, what about people who can't read or can't write? Oh, just go on the internet. You can get it from on the internet.
Oh, I know.
What about there's certain states
Well,
that
what
you
about
and
the
I
government
know of.
not doing what they're supposed to be doing in the first place? Why? Is it because they're lazy, or they don't want to spend the money on doing what they're supposed to have already been doing anyway, or do they just not want to do the work, or are they hiding something? That's why it's so hard to get a FOIA request done.
I think it's a combination of all of the above.
Yeah,
Like
I
they're
think you're
they're
right.
hiding stuff. They're hiding stuff, yes. But they don't care about um the normal person on the street. They don't care. If they're not called out or made to follow the laws that are specific to them, then no, they're not going to put the effort in.
In other words, they're not willing to do their jobs unless they're forced to, because
Exactly.
and it's because they've got a monopoly. They don't have to give great customer service. There's nobody else you can go to. That's why this is so frustrating. They take our tax money to do a job and provide services, but they don't want to do it, and they still get to keep their jobs. Some of these people, these bureaucrats, they need to go, man. They just need to go. What's that say?
It says that having the process available is the minimum requirement. The government is the number one practitioners of minimum amount of effort.
I agree.
And Dale also said the law does not provide adequate consequences for noncompliance. There's no
Absolutely.
teeth
There's
in it.
absolutely, that's a great point there too, Dale. So
Look at the Brady
this,
list.
yeah, this is
Look
where we
at
need to
the
get
Brady list.
legislatures, right?
Yeah,
The
there's no
legislator to create laws for the government to have to abide, but they don't want to do that, right? And they depend on these bureaucrats to protect them once they get into office too, once they're voted in. So it's like a symbiotic relationship. We'll leave you alone. You just support us as elected officials. We're not going to be here forever, but these guys are. They're there 20 years. And so are you gonna make laws to make them do their jobs? Probably not. Yeah, that's why the legislators don't care, is because they want the cover from these bureaucrats when they're doing things that they don't want the public to know, right? So they give each other cover is kind of what it comes down to. So if anybody's got any ideas on how to fix that and how to change those things, I'm all ears because I think it's important that we got to figure this shit out, right? Otherwise, nothing's ever going to change.
The only problem with that, Cliff, is what we're seeing now. Our 1A community was figuring out how to get these things changed. We're bringing the cameras out, we're putting it out for people to see. It's non objective. What's happening to our 1A auditors? What's happening to our supporters?
Yep.
They're getting hemmed up for stupid
BS,
things.
just bullshit. Yeah. Yep.
So where do we go from here? Do we continue to bring more and more people into this community to realize um, that what they're doing is wrong?
I think we need more
Do
boots on the ground too. I think and they need real support. The boots on the ground. I think I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I've never done an audit. I think I'm gonna do one, guys. What do you think? Should this old guy get out there with a camera and do an audit? Give me a one in the
I
chat if you think I ought to do it. A two if you say
only
no, don't do that.
only thing I'm gonna tell you is if you do, make sure you've got enough money for bail
Yep.
and make sure you've got a lawyer who will stand behind you.
Well, I think I probably got some friends that have lawyers.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bill M. Yes, only if
Yeah.
you can take the arrest.
Yep. I can make bail at least anyway. Um, so what do you guys think? Put a one in the chat if you think I ought to go for it and do an audit. Record and never go alone. Never go alone. Check. Hell yeah, Tax says. Double Up says, but don't go to jail. Sometimes that's going to be beyond our control, right? I mean, we've seen auditors out there that are careful, they don't violate any laws, and they get arrested anyway. It's just the nature of the beast, right? But yeah, no, you're right. Be careful. Make sure that I don't, if I get threatened with arrest, just leave. Kind of like what Rogue does. I'll do that. I don't have a problem with that. Freddie, I'll put up my house. No, don't you ever do that for me. Um,
Stephanie, only if you go live. That way, if you're live, we can see you getting in trouble and we will know where you're at.
oh yeah, I'll go live. I don't have an issue with that. If I have to, I won't go alone. All right, I've
Don't
got
go
bail
alone,
money.
have bail money, go live. Um,
Static and then live if I need to. Right, Double Ups? Or static and live at the same time?
Static and live, yes. Two
So
two
I need two cell
cameras
phones. Two cell phones, basically. One on static, one on live.
or a body cam and a cell phone.
Okay, yeah, at the same time. Okay, got it. Any other advice from anyone? I'm all ears, man, because I'm going to do this thing.
A GoPro, okay, maybe not a body cam, but a GoPro, same thing. For public safety, 2 devices. Always have multiple devices.
I
We're
like
ignoring
that.
that comment.
I like it. I like it. EQI. I like it. I had to highlight it. Hmm. Always have multiple devices. Okay. All right.
Maybe even get a second cell phone and have
No, here's a
a
vote. Chris Milkey
GoPro.
says no. Chris Milkey says no. Don't do it. Are you an anti-auditor, Chris, or what's your reasoning?
Dub says learn all of the state and local laws,
Oh yeah.
then case law,
All right.
because you and your opinion, even though you know you're
Hmm.
right,
From what I understand, too, Rogue has case law in his pockets too, for whatever
yeah,
they can come up with.
but
So,
you have to have the law, even though it's unconstitutional, according to you, even though you may feel like the law is not right.
so double
Uh,
ups. Explain what a GoPro is. Just tell me what it all entails. I would like to know that. So I've heard GoPro all the time, but I don't really know what it is.
it's the camera like Chris wears on his chest.
That's a body cam.
That that's also a GoPro.
Okay. Okay.
And Brandon, yeah, if you do, he'll go live and restream it to his audience. I mean,
Okay.
you'll have to, um,
As backup, and
kind of.
probably have a lot of people in the community that if something happens, they can all start. They can go live too and restream. And yeah, that's called backup, right? That's called having people have your back when something happens. I like it. Yeah, broad camera. Stephanie, I would look good in a broad camera, I think. What do you think? It is
Maybe
durable. Durable
that
camera.
has many
Many
ways
ways
to
to fasten.
fasten it.
Okay.
Maybe you could fasten it around your neck and let your beard kind of split away around it, around that way they don't know.
All right. Okay. So these are all. I'll probably go back through this live chat too and read all of the advice on here because I think it's important to, especially from supporters, longtime supporters that have been out there watching videos from a lot of different kind of auditors out there. I think they've got even more insight than auditors themselves. So I'm happy to take any advice I can get. Now, what are pocket
Spike,
clips?
it's a different mount for your GoPro.
Okay.
They have the lanyard, the pocket clips, the bra, the head strap.
Okay.
Uh, Brandon's, their spy glasses. Um, there's even like baseball hats that have a camera hidden in it.
Okay.
Spy pens.
Okay. So if I want to be a secret squirrel, get the spy cameras.
Well, that would be another device to only
Yeah.
be static,
Kind of
not
back
to
up to the
actually
backup
be
to the
live.
backup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Gloria, I'm not going to put that up on the screen, but I'll read it.
Dub ups. Never ever carry cash.
What?
Don't carry cash
I'm a cash kind of guy. Double ups. Why do you say never carry cash?
because cash can disappear.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Don't trust the cops to not steal your cash. I just saw a video of that a while back too, where somebody did.
Right. Uh, Spy cams for public safety. Be careful about the wiretapping laws.
Right. 'Cause it all depends on what state you're in, right? Whether they're one
Yep.
party or two party. Okay. They always take your cash. Huh. It's a good thing I got 20 credit cards. Okay. Now, can I make my own bail? And do they take credit cards, or do I want to make sure I have a debit card with me?
I think it would depend on where you're at. You would
Okay.
need to call the area ahead of time.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea, David. If I'm going to take any cash at all, I always like to have just some sort of cash on me because there's still ancient places that don't take cards. I don't know where anymore, but and I don't pay bills, so I'd have to give somebody access to my stuff then, right? For
Yeah.
public safety. Okay. All right.
I mean,
And
all
I
of this
better have
is
written down phone numbers too, because I don't remember phone numbers. So I better have your phone number written down, Nikki, um, and some other people's phone numbers written down and on
yeah,
a piece of
and
paper.
if you call me, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off and go, "Okay, I'll make the phone calls."
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. And it should be multiple people too, just in case you can't get in touch with the person.
Right. Write 'em on your arm.
Yeah.
Like back in school when you had to cheat on a test, you would write it, on your arm and you got long sleeves, and if you needed the answer, you'd roll your sleeves up.
I don't blame you, EQI. I used to be very much against them too, but had to build my credit in order to buy a home, and became a credit consultant. And credit is king now, not cash anymore. So that's why I did it. But I agree with you. I think they're very dangerous to have.
And yes, Stephanie, we will all be calling. Um, and those of you who know how to get a hold of me, I'm sure. Uh,
See, I was not
I'm
aware that
sure.
Ron Durbin did that. Huh. Okay. Um, Tack, mail me your credit card. Okay. I'll get right on that, Tack.
Use a Sharpie pen when you write down your numbers.
So it can't be smeared off.
Mhm.
Okay. For public safety said something. She said that was a good idea.
But you could always use permanent marker too,
Yeah. On your skin. Yeah. Okay. Well, if I can call now, I'll just have a bunch of numbers written down everywhere on my skin too. Yeah. That way I'm covered.
Oh, and speaking of calls, I heard your notification go off.
Yeah. I didn't get a notification for our own channel. Can you guys believe that? I never got a notification, so I unsubscribed and resubscribed. And I watch my videos from my phone too, so I don't know why um I'm not getting the anyone else not getting a notification? Silly dubwubs.
Well, they'd have to be looking awful close to, make you scrub it off there.
Yeah.
Hello, Wingspan Angel.
I like that too. Tattoo stuff.
Hey,
Tattoo the
now that,
numbers.
yeah.
Not gonna do it. No, not gonna happen. I've never had a tattoo, never got one in the military, even though a lot of peer pressure "Come on, dude, you gotta get the tattoo for this regiment or this outfit." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't want any." YouTube is government bootlickers. Hmm. Yeah, well, they have to be, I guess, in order to stay in business, right?
Well, they're a corporation, aren't they?
Yeah. Brandon, he hardly ever gets notifications for channels that he does want to watch. Oh, so were you notified that our from our channel today, Brandon? Otherwise, you wouldn't have. Yeah, because you didn't really want to come here, so you got the notification. I love it.
There you. Hey, now that's an idea. Uh, tattoos in the
Yeah.
military is a crime. You are legally defacing government property. I I see the
Yeah, they did it anyway. Double ups. I don't think anybody
yeah.
ever even got an Article 15 for it. I know that we weren't supposed to get sick, or if we hurt ourselves, we could get an Article 15, like a broken arm or a broken leg, or
Yeah, apparently, Gloria, that it's happening to everybody.
everyone.
You know,
Yeah, it is. That's why I
unsub,
unsub and sub when I
resub,
don't get a notification.
and it's not just the 1A community that that's happening to,
Yeah.
where you're losing a lot of subs or not getting notifications.
Yeah.
It's all different channels.
Yeah. And for Public
I don't
Safety,
know.
we do want to have an open panel at some point. I don't know if we're prepared to do that today, um, but we'd love to have your advice, and we'd like to have it on an open panel at some point. Okay. All right.
You're a little
So,
bit behind, Cliff.
oh, am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if you got an STD as a military personnel?
Yeah, you could get an Article 15 for that too, because they warn you of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, yeah, you can be brought up on charges for destruction of government property.
But no, Cliff, if you do put your money where your mouth is, besides all the super chats and the memberships and the GoFundMe's and lawyer fees and
What do
whatever
you
else
guys?
you've done,
So,
um,
so do you
yeah,
think I
you
should
would
do my
be.
first audit then after we get monetized or before we get monetized? What do you guys think? Should I wait until I've got some money coming in, or just in case? Or should I just start auditing? I've got enough money to make bail, and I can probably, you know, I hate to ask for donations though, so maybe I ought to have more money before I start. What do you guys think? Put a one in the chat if I should do some auditing. A two if you feel like I'm not ready for it yet. Good to see you, Wanda Mice. Okay, now let me scroll down here and see what we got. I don't see any ones or twos. No, okay, Dale Elliott says I'm not ready. All right, that's one vote. Brandon says nobody is ever ready. OA says learn the camera. Yeah, it is me that will face the evil. That's true. I have the right and the balls. Yeah, I do. But you said no earlier, Chris, so you're conflicting with your answers. Nobody should make that decision but you. Yes, I understand. I just want to get opinions. Okay, I'm with FPS. Okay, I gotcha. And that's coming from people that have done auditing. So nobody's ever ready. Randomize. Okay. Okay. So I'm still not getting any votes, really. Nobody wants to take responsibility. I'm not saying that you would have to take responsibility.
Well, Cliff, I'm just saying, I agree with everybody. It's not up to us. It's up to you. You're the one that's going to be doing it. You're the one that is passively going to be getting in trouble. Are
And
you
those are
going to
considerations too, Wingspan Angel. I got you on that. I just want to
Yeah.
do an audit so that I have that experience, you know.
Okay, Freddie says yes, but go to a post office where it's easy. Look
No.
around, pick up envelopes, and walk out.
Yeah, but that would be boring.
Okay, so now are you saying that you want to go out and you do want to
Yeah.
get in trouble?
Well, no, I don't want to get in trouble, but I want to go somewhere where there's going to be some activity going on, something happening, like maybe a cop watch or a city council meeting. Um, from what I understand, though, they're pretty boring typically. Might have to pick one where I know something's going to happen, or I feel like something's going to happen.
Well, yeah, you could do that. The potential for action, yes, Bill M, right? If you do it, go big.
Do
Yeah.
probation? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, do a probation place. They hate
Yeah.
cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to go and poke the bear where they typically arrest people. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
But Chris said, actually, no matter where you're at, no matter where you decide to do it, boring is what we are hoping for.
I know as supporters you guys are like that, but as new subscribers out there, they want to see action. Yeah. Um, these are all really good ideas, though, guys. I appreciate you guys giving me some tips. All right, so
I
I got to
mean,
make sure.
let's put it this way, Cliff. You, like Dubweb says, you have watched enough, you have been in the community long enough to know what can happen, what might happen, what will happen.
Yep.
Are you yourself willing to take the chance on facing those consequences, which could last for the rest of your life?
Yeah, that's a hard decision. So I kind of get it, and just by contemplating this, it gives me um, some real insight as to what our First Amendment auditors, our boots on the ground, are actually going through in their own lives. These guys, I mean, they're putting their life in their hands when they go out there, you know, and because there could be serious consequences.
There could be. But then again, also, I I know I saw, I think there was like a plane crash in your area. uh, maybe a couple weeks ago. That could
Mm,
be something that you could have gone and stood behind the yellow tape for.
yeah,
That would have gotten your feet wet.
yeah,
Um, but you weren't ready at that time.
yeah.
But, I don't know if you wanna work up to doing a real full-on audit or if you just wanna jump in with both feet and say, "The hell with it, here I am, take me or leave me."
Yeah, double ups. I don't think I'm ready for that, man. I think I need to start off with something simple first. Um, double ups, I think, is trying to get me in trouble, man.
Nah,
I know.
nah.
I'm joking.
He's just giving you things to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, you guys, you're right. And I can't say either because I've never done it. I
Yeah, that's what I worry about, Brandon, is um, going off on somebody that tries to tell me what to do, unlawful directives. I think I'd probably be a little bit like Wanda Mize if somebody tried to tell me to do something, um, and I'd probably end up in cuffs. So I don't think that's not lost on me. I think about that. I don't want to lose my temper.
and that's actually why I don't, is because I know my alligator mouth would override my hummingbird ass.
Yeah, I don't have to force the action. It'll happen. Yeah, yeah,
The real issues are when they come unprovoked. Yes, that's true.
yeah. And then, yeah, Brandon doesn't take directives either. I've seen that. I've seen that from Brandon. He doesn't like directives either.
Nikki needs to learn the fifth and shush.
No, she doesn't. Uh,
I I understand that, but in the heat of the moment,
yeah,
would
the, the
I
brain
use
shuts
that?
off. Yeah, the brain
Ex
could shut off in the heat of the moment.
Right, right. The real question is can you handle the abuse? If you get out there and if something were to happen,
Well,
where let's say you're doing it where you're at, are you going to be able to have and handle the cops driving by and writing you a city ordinance because your grass is a quarter of an inch too long? Are you going to be able
mm,
to handle going to the grocery store and you being followed, waiting for them to see if you're going to turn your left turn blinker on? Are you going to be
am I
able to
ready for the
handle
harassment? Is what you're saying,
exactly?
and the retaliation. Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, I probably just need to go um, someplace far away from my home, right? Or a good distance, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, like we've said, take someone with you. If there's someone that you're taking with you, have them be a seasoned auditor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would do absolutely no good at this point if you were to do it. If
Well, and
say
over
you
40
and
years ago,
I were to
I was
meet
in the
somewhere.
military, and I had drill sergeants up in my face, and I was able to take that. So I think if I really focused, I could take abuse. It's just I probably really wouldn't like it. and but
Um do it during
it's
Audit Palooza down in Florida. because
Hey,
you've
that's a
told
good idea.
everybody that you're going down there.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll have backup.
yeah, yeah. That's true. Well, if I can get somebody to go out with me, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, pig breath is bad. No, I got you. So we're drill sergeant's breath.
Yeah, but the decision is yours to make.
Mhm. Yep, it's food for thought, and I'm gonna give it some more thought, and I'm probably just gonna take all the advice here that I've gotten and come up with a plan of what to do with that advice.
They have a national database now of us all. Not only that, EQI, but they also have specific ways to handle us. I mean, Fort Worth, was it Fort Worth, where Manuel Mata was addressing them on one of their trainings?
Take the wait a minute. What does this mean?
Take the
Take the
advice,
advice, throw it out,
throw it out, and do
do
what
what
you're
you
going to
do.
do.
Bill, come on now.
Means
No,
don't
well,
listen to everybody.
right, but I mean things that make sense. I'm going to keep, and I think what he's saying is things that don't make sense, spit it out and throw it away. Don't eat the peas and carrots
Right.
if you don't like them.
Yeah.
Um,
Just like spaghetti, throw it at the wall, see what sticks.
yeah, something like this could happen to you. Um, yeah, so yeah, it's a
Chris,
dangerous game for
go
auditors.
with your gut. Just be effective.
And this
You
is
know,
probably true too. Mhm.
you're okay. We all know I'm just the way I am. I'm not trying to talk you out of this. I'm trying to see it from another side.
Yeah,
You're not a young pup anymore.
I'm not, and I know that I'd have to go someplace where it's stationary where I can sit down. I would. That's why I was thinking like maybe city council meetings or something like that. Um,
Yeah, because you
yeah.
can't run from them.
No, too old.
You probably go 2 steps and be like, "Just come get me, guys. Give me some oxygen." Oh my.
I think I could still take a beating, so I'm not worried about that.
Oklahoma outlawed, it's get a lawyer first.
Well, okay, so I got to figure out where I'm going, and then what? Pay a lawyer just to go for a visit there? I mean,
To be on retainer. I mean, Cliff, you see it. You've
what,
watched
like
it.
a
You see it
deposit?
all the
Can you
time.
do like a deposit and get your money back if you didn't need him when you were there?
No, I don't think you can do that because they call it a
Yes, I just
retainer.
want to go somewhere where it's not in my home state. So, and a lawyer has to be at the bar in whatever state you're in if you're going to go out in that state, right? So you can't really
Mhm.
have an attorney on retainer because you can't like give them a deposit. I just have to maybe have somebody that um, if I decide on what state to go to, talk to some people that are in that state, see who their attorneys are or whatever, and then just say, hey, can
Yeah.
I call you if I get hemmed up? That type of thing. Um,
Right. Right. That's a good
and
idea.
and ask him how much would a retainer be if I get him hemmed up. Just that kind of deal.
Yeah.
I guess it would depend on the
Um,
situation.
yeah, just make sure
Just
you at
have one
least have
ready.
legitimate business.
Just have one ready that will act. I got you. Probably
And
have a
then
conversation with them about what I'm planning on doing, and see if they understand the First Amendment and things like that.
hmm Tech, I no, Cliff does not like GoFundMe's.
No,
So no, at this point, no, we are not going to start a GoFundMe.
nope,
Now,
nope.
when Cliff goes, okay, I'm completely broke and I need help, then and only then will I
Mm,
say,
And
well,
and maybe
Cliff,
not
we
even
can.
then. You know, maybe not even then. I kind of want to. I just yeah. I don't think I'm going to get myself in a situation where I would need 50 grand um, to defend myself. Or have an attorney. But you just never know.
Um, Another thing, EQI. Um, Remember, there are states that you're not allowed to do open records request unless you're a resident. Kentucky happens to be one of them.
Tennessee's
That
another one.
that I know right off my top of my head. But here's a good job description. Dale
No
Elliott,
tack. No tack. Not doing it.
Dale Elliott, right there. Requirements to be an auditor. Balls of steel. I think you can put a
Multiple
check
recording
next to that.
devices, lawyer on speed dial, live feed, experienced auditor, 50 grand.
Yep.
Ain't nobody got that kind of money. What are you talking about, Dale? Ain't nobody got that kind of money. Well, I guess there are people that have that kind of money. But I don't have that kind of money. I got a fifth of that kind of money.
Must be nice.
I mean, just expendable. I could do 20% of that. But then, I could get loans. Of course, you get loans. I mean, to cover 50 grand. But
But that goes back to what I was saying. Are you willing to pay for this
yeah.
for the
Oh,
rest of
yeah.
your life?
Mm, hmm Yeah. And you do never know. Exactly. So, do you see what new auditors would kind of go through? I mean, are they covering all these bases? Are they thinking about all these things? Or are they just going out there and winging it and getting themselves in trouble?
Not only that, Cliff, a lot of times new auditors aren't actually setting out to become auditors. They
Yeah,
have
that's true.
something
Most of them.
happen to them
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
makes them go, this is wrong, and we need to get it out there.
Yeah. Something happened to them to start them off on their journey, like for public safety, like Wanda Mize, um, and a lot of other auditors too. I mean, you hear stories all the time, you know, like,
I mean, you and I, we are supporters, yes.
hmm
Okay. Um, I am not an auditor, but if something were to happen that puts me in a situation where I need to get the word out, then that is going to turn me into a quote unquote auditor. I can guarantee that right now I don't have the 50,000 for a lawyer. I don't have anybody to, like Chris Milky's saying, uh, go to work for me at my real job, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and and I've heard for public safety say I'm not a 1A auditor. I just happen to be thrown into this, and so we've been thrown into activism because of what's happened to us, right? Um, by the same token, I don't think we should run away from being a 1A auditor either. I mean, if somebody calls you a First Amendment auditor, hey, embrace it, man. Wear it as a badge of honor, because you do audits, even though you're an activist, or if you're a journalist, you're doing audits. You're testing the system. You know, when you're going out there to a government place, like you did in Meade County, you were auditing as well. You wanted to get it on video of you trying to get your records. And yeah, inspection is, Brandon Mitchell says. Some people call it employee conduct check. Um, everybody can have their own definition. I don't think there has to be a certain specific definition to call yourself a 1A auditor. Um, it's just a name. It doesn't really, it
I
doesn't
mean,
mean
cop
anything.
watching could be auditors.
Absolutely, that's a 1A auditor. But they're actual cop watchers. They're not really First Amendment auditors, but they utilize the First Amendment to do their activism. And I think that's all it is. Most people are applying all of the aspects of the First Amendment in any facet. I mean, your independent journalists use the First Amendment, your activists use the First Amendment, and your First Amendment auditors that are just doing conduct checks, they're using the First Amendment to justify what they're doing. And it's not, you don't even need the justification. These are rights. Um, you know,
True. I mean, okay, here in my area, you know, a building downtown could catch on fire, and I have been known to go and get pictures of the fire or the firefighters. Why do I do it? Because it's interesting to me. But technically, if somebody wanted to throw a fit, I could say, hey, it's my First Amendment right to do this. So, in all reality, Cliff, anytime that we take a picture, question an official, question a law, we're all in our normal everyday life. We are all auditors, activists,
well,
whatever you
it's
want to
posting
call it.
it too. So you're utilizing freedom of press because you're posting it for other people. You're disseminating it to the public. Um, Now, if you're just recording for your own personal use, you could still be considered a First Amendment auditor. You know what I
Right.
mean? And never post the stuff.
But
Um,
then again, like Dubwebs, I'm not auditing because I'm
but
exercising my rights.
yeah. So there's a lot of negative connotations that the government puts on the First Amendment auditing community. Oh, it's one of those guys. Like there should be negative connotations to it, and I don't think there should be at all. Um, I think it's people practicing their freedom and their constitutional rights. And when you say constitutional, I can't stand the mocking that our own government does. They mock you. Oh, one of those constitutional guys. They swear an oath to the Constitution, and yet they're going to turn around and mock it.
Hmm.
They don't deserve to be in the jobs that they're in.
Not only do you get that label of being a constitutionalist, you know,
What's wrong
or
with that?
one of
I don't,
those
when
guys.
did that
What
change
happens?
where
They
something's wrong with
say,
it?
do you need to see a doctor because
Yeah,
you're,
they
you
want a
know,
5150.
5150?
You're
Right,
crazy because you believe in the Constitution, the very document that um, is the supreme law of the land. Do people not know it's the supreme law of the land? Yeah, I think people don't know or they don't realize um,
right.
because of public schools.
Yeah. And EQI, we have featured Wanda on our channel. Matter of fact, Wanda did contact us, and I had asked him to send us the video so that we would have it for safekeeping, and
Words
somehow
of
it
wisdom
didn't
right
work
there.
out. So yes, we are keeping in close contact with Wanda. Um, and that's what our channel is about.
Mhm.
Is like Chris says, bringing pressure to the government or an issue that the government is responsible for.
Mhm.
Our channel is to actually be, I guess, like a clearinghouse for everybody who's bringing the pressure.
Mhm. Yeah, we always want to make sure we stay in touch with the boots on the ground, know what's going on in their lives, what's happening with the next. And if they send us updates, we'd love to get those updates because at some point we're going to share updates, you know, and just they got to email them to us and show us a video of it, and of course we'll at some point put it out on the channel, you know. And they're welcome to always come up, and whenever we're sharing somebody's videos, they can always come up on the panel and explain, kind of, go through it with us. We want to feature their work. The Spirit in the Sky.
So, Cliff, I guess we've had an interesting 2 hours.
Oh, wow. Has it already been 2 hours? Wow. We were having a great discussion here. I love it.
Yes.
We only showed a
Wanda,
couple of videos.
I know. And I had pulled all of those out of our email, and we're gonna have to, I guess we're gonna have to
Put a pin in it.
put a pin in it and bring it back on Wednesday, maybe.
Well,
Wanda,
unless,
anytime you want coaching on doing a panel or joining panels, you know where we're at.
yeah, just shoot us an email. Go ahead and put our email in the chat to somebody, would you? The Vigilance Committee 1864 at gmail.com.
Brandon, the one person that you did get a hold of us, we are um talking with them, trying to get the scheduling worked out because of the time difference.
Hmm.
But there have been
Huge time
emails going
difference.
back and forth.
Yep.
Nikki is
So
so tech savvy, she has her own USB cord. I
I don't even know
I
what that is.
I don't know either.
Mm.
But yeah, I think we'll go ahead and we'll put a pen in it for today, and we'll just continue the housekeeping on Wednesday. And at that time, Wanda, if you want, I'll go ahead and I'll send you the link and we can figure
Why don't we
things out
just do an
that
open
way.
panel on Wednesday? Why don't we just do an
Okay.
open panel? Let's do an open panel on Wednesday. I think that would be fun. And I hope for public safety still in here and I heard that because I know he wanted to get on the panel with us. So yeah, let's just do an open panel.
Okay. Only thing is if Chris
And we'll
comes
just
on, I'm going to put a timer on.
no filibustering. No,
And
we'll make
Chris,
sure that
I'm
we
just joking.
we'll
I've got
we'll
Tiffany's permission to tell you to shut up.
yeah, we'll make sure that that everybody gets a chance to talk, and nobody's going to control the whole conversation. Chris does have a tendency to do that, but we love him anyway.
Yeah.
And I love him coming up on panels too, because he's always got something to say. And sometimes I don't have anything to say, and I like people that talk. So, um,
Okay. Wanda
and
does
then
have
sometimes
court
I
on
also talk
Wednesday.
somebody's ears off too.
Yes.
Well, our it's after 6 p.m. It's
But
actually 6
but
p.m. Central.
if you don't hear from him, he'll be in jail in Indiana. So
Okay. All right.
everybody will have to find out.
Do I have Wanda Mize's phone number? I know we have his email, but
No, no.
okay. I thought I did. I'll have to look.
Wanda, you can send us your email if you want to. Ajet, hello, thank you for coming in.
Let's try
Try and watch the language too. Oh, I'm sorry.
How often do I say? I do say the F word every once in a while, don't I? Yep, absolutely. Well, curtail that kind of stuff. Sure.
But
I
yeah,
don't mind doing that. I do have a larger vocabulary than having to say the F word every other word.
but yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do the open panel on Wednesday.
All right. Okay, that sounds good, guys. And thanks again for being here. Oh, by the way, if you guys will go watch some of our regular videos that Nikki somewhat edited, and leave us comments in those, we'd sure appreciate it. So like, share, subscribe, and we'd really appreciate comments in our comment section too, as to what you think or have opinions in there or ideas, anything at all. Just leave us some comments too. We're not getting a lot of comments in our shows, and because we're always doing lives, and so people don't think to go back and leave a comment. So please do that for us. And I am going to go ahead and play our outro. I'm not going to give the normal spiel on our outro. You kind of know it's a long one. And enough said on that. Anything else, Nikki?
Okay, Wanda's telling everybody who wants to, he has court at 8:30. Chris said, Wanda, email him, let him know the stuff. You guys, I myself want to thank you for taking the time out of your day and, being here, spending it with us. You know, I'm sure that there's other things that you may have other things to do, but, thank you for being here with us. You
Absolutely.
have a
We
great
always
day.
appreciate that. And with that, here we go.
In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred land. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. Through the storms and the darkest night, we'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight. For the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, it will never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the quiet of the night, we'll keep the watch, we'll hold on tight. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll stand tall. Together we'll rise, together we'll fall. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, it will never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we'll stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred in the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we'll stand together, hand in hand, watching over this sacred land.